Look who it is. Scott Mills is here.
Hello.
Is this your first time at Radio Days?
No, my second time, but the first one was about 5 or 6 years ago.
What took you so long?
I don't know, we were literally in and out. It was the one in Amsterdam, and I was talking with Tony Blackburn.
Okay.
Since then, we have tried a couple of times to make it work, but either I couldn't get off the show or I was doing something else. But let's get it in the diary for next year.
We got him back. Come here, you just gave a great talk. I was out here, but someone said you had a great story about Harrison Ford.
Okay.
About a disastrous interview.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. It was about 4 or 5 weeks ago. It was my first week in the new job on Radio 2 Breakfast Show. Now, it's very easy to find. If you look up any Harrison Ford interview on YouTube, there are some ones where he loves it, but the majority he doesn't.
He just doesn't want to do it.
Or he just comes across, like he's not. Like, he doesn't give you much, let's say that. But actually, he didn't give me much either. And at the time, I was like, oh. But you've just got to lean into it. And the clip of me and the slightly awkward Harrison interview has now got 4.1 million views on Instagram.
It worked well for everybody.
So it's not like there's two ways of looking at it. You either go, oh, that wasn't my best interview, or, oh, actually, if the interview had gone better, maybe it probably wouldn't have got done as well on Instagram.
But how do you handle it, Scott? Because most of the interviews you do, of course, are rock star, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
But with someone like that, do you just cut it short, or do you let there be awkward silences, or do you kind of go along with the fun of it and say, this is going to be funny to watch this back?
At the time, you never think that.
You panic.
You do. That was the first interview where I've panicked in a long time, because
Really?
I'm like, But you've got to. The reason he was there was to promote his new film. So at the very least, you've got to do that, and they can talk about that, and then so at least you have something, Did I cut it short? Probably a little bit, yes, because I kind of run out of things to say.
I feel like saying at the end, Scott, you know what, don't go see the film. If he's like this, don't bother.
You can't. The thing is, right, like Harrison Ford is 82 years old now, right? So you've got to cut him some slack. And also...
He's never going to talk to you again after you said that.
With him, you kind of know what you're going to get. So,
yeah.
But on the radio, the interview actually shined up fine. Edit, and the social clip is hilarious because it's me going, are you okay? Would you like some more coffee?
Yeah.
Like, just trying to make him be my friend.
Yeah, please be my friend.
Yeah, basically.
For this piece.
Which is why I think, because they've left a bit of the pre-chat in, which you didn't hear on radio.
Okay.
So I think people seem to like it on the internet.
Now, you've been in the game a long time. You've seen it change and evolve. Where is it going in the future? You're sitting there in BBC Radio 2 now, The Breakfast Show. Mm-hmm. You mentioned the clip on social media. Is that just as big? Is it more important now than FM, or how does it all work?
I think, what it's changed hugely in the time, obviously, that I've been doing it. I mean, when I started radio, you could not even text in to the radio station. I mean, I don't even think you could email. But then you could email, and then you could text, and then now here we are. I think you have much more to think about now if you are keeping a radio show afloat, especially one of this size. And I really do think the social has to be bang on. I think it more than ever. I am a bit old school sometimes, so I was like, oh, it's not that important. I do believe it is. And actually...
Put it on medium wave.
Let's put it on AM.
Yeah.
But our social team at Radio 2, shout out to Jamie in particular, it's the creative and the way it's shot, it's so important. And these, I mean, obviously it's very famous people, but they're doing huge numbers. 4 million people. Now, a lot of those people will never have trialed your radio show before. So yeah, it's more important than ever.
It's a chance to grab them, at least some of them.
And you need to get into that habit if you're not already of get stuff on there, because if they're engaging with that when they're scrolling through their phone, when they're first waking up in bed in the morning, they might turn you on the radio, which they may not even, you're putting it in their head.
you have reached the pinnacle of the business, the broadcasting business. You're one of the most successful radio broadcasters
Who'd have thought,
in Europe. Yeah. Did I say this right? I know you scripted this for me a while ago, but
yes, that's right. I have.
Yes. No, but seriously, one of the most well-known names in radio in the entire world. Keys to success in a very difficult business.
What are their? What do you mean? How do they get there?
Success. No, to you, like to making it to where you are today.
Oh my God! I actually think it's. I do believe that it is a bit of luck. It's not. Yeah, talent. I'm really bashful things like this, but I think you have to be a good communicator. You have to get the listeners to like you, so you have to be warm. I think you have to be fairly smart. I think you need to know what your audience is thinking about and talking about, and also what they don't like. But also, I do believe that I was blessed often, not always, but often being in a right place at a right time.
And willing to work hard and take opportunities.
And that was the next thing I was going to say. You've got to graft at it. I think a lot of people, not all of them, because I know loads of people, and they work on my show, who work so hard, but are younger. I think sometimes you could think, oh, I'll just be on the radio. Easy, isn't it? Yeah. It's easy to do badly or averagely. Yeah. I don't think it's easy to do well. Oh. I don't.
That's funny. You know, Howard Stern, of course, his dad told him once when he was starting in radio and he was making jokes and being funny, his dad said, you can be a clown, but first you need to know how to do radio. Yeah. You'd be a well-trained clown. I met up with Jackie O last night, who is like a bit of a hero of mine on the radio, and she has very much the same ethos. Like I worry that I don't want the art of radio to die out. Do you worry that it will?
I don't think it will, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like music radio, yeah. Because it's great, but it's great putting famous people on the radio.
I was about to ask you that, yeah.
But I want them to be able to do the radio. Yeah. But there are loads of people that I work with who work so hard because they want to learn. Ramesh Ranganathan has been into my show now 3 times because, and said, do you mind if I come in? Is it weird? I was like, not weird. And he's literally there.
It's weird if I sit and watch you.
No, but he's there with a notebook, and then we went out for a coffee, and he's like, tell me more. So, yeah. And it was the same. It was the same when Molly King from the Saturdays joined Radio 1. Molly came in for a whole week, and she was like, please tell me everything. And I, by the way, love doing that.
You like doing that. You like mentoring.
I really do.
And I won't hold you much longer because I know there are other people here who want to chat to you.
Okay.
But that is the problem now we see in radio stations around the world, whereas they're taking people from social media because, they've got a big following there. And we desperately want that audience. So if we just put them on radio, they think that they will translate.
Well, no bones about it. We tried it way back on Radio 1, in the YouTube days, when when it was like Zoella and Alfie Days and Casper Lee. What was that, like 2010? You can't presume that audience is just going to come to the radio because
different skill set.
It's a different skill set, but also just because you're big online doesn't mean they're going to go, oh, Zoella's on at 4, I must tune in. It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah, and someone who might have a skill for making a 60-second short and knowing how to make it punchy and trying to sustain that over an hour and kind of have a theme or tell a story.
Yes, but I also admire those skills, but it's a different skill set.
Scott, I think that's about. I'll see you in 6 months for a checkup, and it's all been good.
See you there.
The cleaning. Thank you, Scott.
Good to see you. Thank you.